So insider tips for ranking higher in the Trulia agent directory. I've chatted with enough agents over the years to know that agents are competitive people. And I think, frankly, most people, if there's a directory out there, want to know, okay, well, I should be at the top of that directory. How can I do that? So here's a few kind of quick tips to do. First is to complete your profile. So I've kind of mentioned that a couple times already, but including a profile, just whatever your unique skills and expertise, this is something that you can complete all of that in less than 5 minutes, and it's just a really simple way to provide basic information about yourself. But it makes it's complete night and day in terms of when a consumer arrives on your profile page, how they're going to kind of perceive that. The next one is add reviews. So I don't have special screenshots on that, but we built out. It's very easy to figure out when you come to the site and you're on the profile page is to actually get requests and add recommendations from past clients. And this is, I've actually, we're just chatting with a handful of agents on an agent panel that we did last week, and they were telling about how the recommendations on the system had really helped them. I think it's because that's one of the most authentic pieces of the profile page. Most of the rest of the profile page is admittedly it's you writing about yourself, which is going to be helpful. But what people say about you is really some of the most important stuff. So if you can have, frankly, as many recommendations as possible, but you want to at least have probably 5 or 10 of past clients who have good things to say about you, that can really, really help. In the same way that people really turn to Yelp as a resource to kind of help them understand more about a restaurant or whatever business that they're looking at, those are just really, really powerful. And the system is really easy to use. It's very easy to request a recommendation, and you can even copy paste a past recommendation, and we'll send that off to verify, because we don't want people just entering bogus information. We do have to have some policies in place to try to make sure that they're all valid. But we've gone, this has actually existed for the past couple of years, so we've tweaked the system to make it as easy as possible for agents to use. So I'd really encourage you to use that. And then the last one here, I actually do have another screenshot, I believe, on the next slide. But this is adding past sales. And this is, a lot of this functionality we really launched based on consumer research that we did, which was consumers were looking at our last directory, and they were having trouble figuring out, does this agent that I'm talking to, do they actually work in this area? Because agents could kind of enter any particular location associated with their profile, and it was harder for consumers to kind of understand, okay, does this agent really work here? Are they a true expert in this neighborhood? Have they been working here for a long time? Or do they want to work in this neighborhood and they don't necessarily know very much about it? And past sales are really one of the best ways to kind of cut through that, because it helps you as an agent show, look, I've been in this particular neighborhood, zip code, et cetera, and you've represented either buyers or sellers. So it's not just representing sellers. You can also just enter. So there are 2 sides for every transaction, and every one of those can be entered into Trulia. So entering that information is really, really helpful to consumers, whether you're looking to buy or also as you're looking to sell. I know there's a high demand for seller leads out there as well. So particularly if you're going on the agent directory and saying, look, I think I could probably get somewhere in this particular price range for my home, so I might search for a seller, for a listing agent who specializes in that price range. You'll pop up there if you've entered past sales that are in that particular price range.